Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Black Rose Society, a game of swashbuckling action, suspenseful intrigue, and sexy, sexy nerds, all set here in the world of 7th. My name is Dan McCurdy, and I will be the storyteller this evening. You can find me at RevDMC247 on TikTok and YouTube. And now I'm going to allow my players to introduce themselves, starting with Abby.
Hello, I'm Abby, or Bardic Charm, geez, on TikTok or Blue Sky.
It's one of those nights already, I can tell.
It is. Tonight I will be playing Alastriona Toran, Inishmore soldier, former carpenter, aspiring sailor, and we're just trying to figure out if she's for the men or if she's for the women. Who knows? And I will turn it over to Demetrius.
Hey everyone, Bell Comedy. You guys find me on all the socials, and I will be playing Demetrius Penn, mercenary, stealer of virtues, and if he is placing a bet on if Alastriona is a woman's woman, or men's woman, he's mostly betting on women's woman, but his radar is always off. But it's gonna be fun, and I will bring it down to Kelsey.
Hello, everybody. I am Kelsey. You can find me at Farmgrown Nerd on most socials except Facebook, because no. Tonight I am playing Nikoletta von Richter, the Baroness. Okay, yes, it's Hexa, but it's not that bad, okay? It's fine. And I will pass that over to Verity.
Hello, I am Rage Mouse on the things, if it exists, and I am Verity Laurys Victoire-Couteau, and I am very excited to weigh in on the fact that, if I recall correctly, there was a sword and the shoulders. She is Dame Alastriona of Avalon.
Never call an Inishmore soldier of Avalon. Oh, and just jumping in, joining us now, Arnau.
Hi, everybody, from the depths of internet nightmares. At the very last second. This is Chandler Fields playing Arnau Cecero, the lovely spy master and duelist, and also sometimes extremely gay heartthrob.
In our previous episode, the party had traveled to the city of Charus, capital of the Empire of Montaigne. They were going to explore the Labyrinthine catacombs, the best known of these underground structures in the land of Thea, often a tourist location for people interested in the secrets that lie underneath the city. Unfortunately, when they arrived, they found, due to the intelligence that had been given them by Aidan Kearney, someone who Alastriona had worked with when they were in Carleon, the labyrinth had been shut down by the musketeers. Going in to investigate what exactly the problem was, they met two musketeers, Henri Lacoste and Edmond de Retrouvier. And the two of them had been given reason to believe that there would be royalty going down soon, and they were trying to make sure that no plots were gotten up to. But when they went down, they found that there were already undead in the tunnels. Forced to fight them off, there was an explosion due to some of the gas in the tunnels, and they were able to actually find a shortcut, even though some of them might have lost a fair bit of hearing. And they went and they found the Chamber of the Star Map, very similar to the great chamber underneath the palace in Carleon, and had similar maps. And with Nikoletta and Edmund working together very closely in a way that did not at all irritate Demetrius Penn, they were able to discover potential locations of other star maps and other labyrinths between the two. And Arnau, I believe, was the one who determined that they were also likely looking at a potential command center for all of these things that was in Vadachi. But as they were beginning to start to think that maybe they had things figured out, they noticed a single shambler, a member of the undead that had not yet been destroyed. And as it wandered into the chamber, as they had been warned, would be very bad, suddenly the energy of the chamber struck it, and it grew to massive size until it had 6 arms, was standing over 15 feet tall, and was roaring at all of them. And that brings us into our session tonight. You are facing a Hexatitan, A normal piece of hexenwork somehow supercharged and transformed by the power of the star map. First and foremost, this thing is terrifying to all of you, even Nikoletta. You have all faced undead now. You've been around them, but this is something new. This is something scary, which means this has a fear rating of 1, meaning all of your dice pools are reduced by 1, so long as this thing is alive. It moans and growls as it stands toward you. The 2 musketeers... Actually, no. Henri did not come down with you all, as I recall. Edmund is the only one who is there. Stands out and goes and pulls his pistol and his sword as he sees this thing beginning to moan and rage around all of you. This is clearly going to be a tough fight. What are our approaches? Let's start with Alastriona.
I mean, she only really knows how to deal with things with, blades. So she's just gonna tried and true blender time.
All right, that is going to be your brawn and your weaponry, as I recall. Arnau, how about you?
So, this thing got big when it walked in the chamber, right?
Yes.
So that means if we disrupt the flow of energy from the chamber, it might get smaller.
Possibly.
So that's what Arnau is going to try to do. He's going to try to use his blade in some way, shape, or form, try to disrupt the flow of energy from the star map, and possibly either cause an explosion or make this thing smaller, one way or the other.
So the star map is this massive dome, and the ceiling over you has all these gems on it that are showing the locations of stars, which is why it's a star map. It's like a planetarium. What exactly are you swinging at in all of this in order to disrupt the flow of energy?
So there's got to be at least a few, because the star map, the way that it's structured, is like gems, right? On the ceiling. So there's got to be at least a few of them that Arnau may not understand the esoterical concept of these gems as they stand. However, he can probably see this one's bigger, this one's a little smaller. If I hit the big one, it might stop shining. So that's what he's going to try to do.
Okay, so you're trying to figure this out like it's a puzzle. I'm going to go ahead and call this a wits and scholarship on your part as you try to take your knowledge of this thing to figure out, okay, since you're not just whacking everything, so wits and scholarship to try to find a weak point in the star map itself to disrupt the magic that is in here. Demetrius, how about you?
Yeah, he's going to kind of charge at it, and he's going to try to treat this as any other zombie and try to go for the legs, try to hack away, try to see if he can hack away at one of the legs so he can fall over like he would do with the standard one. As the second that thing started growing, he probably would have been like, Nikki.
Finesse and weaponry then. Nikoletta.
I see. Oh, this is not going to be good.
Oh, quick reminder. You had dropped the orb because it was hot to the point of burning and lighting things on fire. It is glowing red hot and rolling across the ground right now.
One thing at a time.
Yeah.
She'll skitter off to the side, just a little out of the way, pull out her big, very ugly hexabook, slam it open a couple of pages, look down, double check a recipe, as I do the exact same over here. Crap, where did it go? No, I pulled you up. Thank you. She pulls out one bottle that looks like kind of like gray water algae almost. Pours it into her mortar. Grabs another that looks a little bit like salt and flour. Pours it in, and she starts grinding that into a paste.
Okay.
Keep it busy.
All right. Do you have a raises roll to mix a concoction, or is this just going to be your round?
It's just an ungent. It's an ungent that I have, but I don't assume she keeps this prepared on her regularly. So it's just like... So
you're going to spend this round doing your alchemy. We're going to just say you know how to do it. You're away from the Titan at the moment, so that's not going to be a risk for you.
Verity. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the only thing that's left to her is to save as Demetrius is like, well, I know how to kill the small ones, so because it's probably the only decent pool now, she's going to try and leap to its shoulders and like go for the. She's gonna try and sever the head.
Okay. So first, you're going to try to climb the thing.
Yes, she's
Okay.
gonna try and very acrobatically.
All right. I'll go ahead and give you a
skills in her body to actually, make light foot of it, just like.
Okay. Finesse and athletics then.
Exactly. It's a good pool. Even with a minus, then a plus.
And yeah, -1 from the fear, +1 for flair on this first roll.
So nothing, just a regular.
All right. So we're going to handle this somewhat similar to a duel. And so let me see a quick count of all the raises once we have them. So a 3, a 4. Demetrius still working on his. Nikoletta not appearing in this round.
I'm working on it.
So 4, 3, 4, 4. Okay. So on fourth raises, that is going to be Alastriona, Demetrius, and Verity, who all get to go. Alastriona, you get to go in. If you take a slash with your weapon, you are going to do your weaponry worth of minor wounds to it. Your weaponry is 3, correct? Okay.
Yep, 3.
It takes its first 3 minor wounds. Demetrius, same thing?
Yep.
All right, that's another 3. And Verity, you go in and you make your first jump. Yours was actually a risk rather than a set of attacks. You are going to... on your 4, you are not going to take any wounds. By the end of the round, you will have climbed up to its shoulders, more or less untouched. You're getting thrown around a little bit, but nothing worth calling a wound. And it is now its turn. At the end of the round of 4, I am going to have it, well, because Verity is climbing it, it is going to try to grab her. I need you to make a finesse athletics risk. Difficulty 2. You need 2 raises before this is successful. There are 3 minor wounds also involved in this.
You got this.
So
Finesse
now
and athletics. That's your
it's
bag.
the same roll, but minus a dice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no more flair, but you still have the negative from fear.
One, 2, 3. Okay, yeah, no. That's
All right, so you succeed. You have not been
3
grappled.
10s, BT dubs.
You have not been grappled. You do take 2 minor wounds, though, as you get kind of buffeted while it is reaching after you. All right, we are now in the round of 3. Alastriona, another standard attack. You're not a duelist, so standard attacks are pretty much what you have. So
Kind of what she's got right now,
Yeah.
and she's just going for what she knows. We don't want to get fancy. We just want to get effective.
1, 2, 3. Arnau.
So, yeah, I was breaking rocks.
Oh yeah. That's right, because this is your wits and scholarship. I'm going to get to that. You are spending this round looking for a good spot, and then once the full round is resolved, Demetrius. Oh, also, as you all are cutting on this thing, wait, hang on, Nikoletta. Do you recall last game? You put one of your tinctures on everyone's swords, right?
Scourgebane, yeah.
Scourgebane. Scourgebane is on all of the weapons. As you all approach this thing, every one of your blades catches on fire.
Pretty blue.
It is that It is that blue flame. There is no heat that you all can feel from it. But as you are hitting this thing, you get the feeling you're not making as much progress as you would be against a normal thing, but the Scourgebane does seem to be making up for some of that in the burning damage that it is causing. Demetrius, you're up. Weaponry worth of damage again? All right.
Yep.
And that is a 3 for you?
Yep.
Okay.
Do I have to roll again, or
no? The roll handled all of your actions in the round. So,
Gotcha.
Verity's still in the process of climbing, and now it is its turn again. No, wait. Now it is Edmund's turn.
Come on, Edmund. Come on, NPC.
Please be too busy.
Do your
looking at
job.
something. Please be
You
too
had said
busy.
out loud that firearms do nothing against these things, against the undead, right? Edmund has heard Nikoletta say that. So he puts his pistol away and he runs in and he does his weaponry worth of damage. So all of you are hitting this thing. It is showing wounds. It is getting a little bit staggered. It clearly has a fair amount of health left to go, though. It is now... All right, its grasp did not succeed. I am spending a villain point, and it gives a horrific roar. Actually, wait, there's no point to doing that yet. It opens its mouth, and this incredible gout of fire bursts out and is going along the entire... It's going along the floor. So, Verity, this is going to miss you, because you are up on it. And so, but everyone else, you have attacked, you need to, so this is literally everyone else, including Nikoletta, including Arnau.
I'm on Zippo.
There's a risk with 3 wounds, in play. What is your approach to miss this gout of fire? Again, we'll start with Alastriona and go around.
All right, the way that she's going to miss this fire. Okay. Is it just like
he is like an epicenter of flame that is going out and going across the ground of the star map.
So it's just going across the ground. It's not like up in the air.
Yeah, it's not a huge cloud of flame. It seems to be spreading along, like so many video game bosses. You know, they hit the ground and there's like this pulse of flame along the ground.
Okay. I am going to... How high are the ceilings?
Very high. This is like at the top of the dome. It's like 4 stories tall.
Village. Okay.
Oh, we in Bowser's chamber. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Is it possible to jump toward a wall and try and stab my swords into it and hold myself up?
I'm going to say because you are in melee range with this thing right now, no. You're not close enough to the walls.
Can I stab him and hold myself up from the flame floor?
You know what? Sure, I'll give you that. Let's call that a finesse and...
There's plenty of room. Come on up.
Yeah, finesse and weaponry to try to, like, you're this is not you going for a hit. This is just you just trying to get yourself up on the thing. Arnau, you are over by one of the walls because you're giving a close look to the gems.
You can tell I had the same idea, didn't you?
Yeah.
So Arnau's going to try to ice climber it because he's already been looking at the walls. He hears the flame behind him. He goes, "Well, that can't be good." And he's gonna, because he's already been looking at the walls and pinpointing which ones he's actually trying to go for. He's basically starting his climb.
Finesse athletics.
Okay. So.
And again, this is you need 1 raise to succeed, and you're looking to negate. Oh, what did I say? 3 wounds. So with 4 successes, you evade all damage. Demetrius.
Not a whole lot of great options, so I'm just going to have to be a badass and just brilliantly kind of finesse, do a flip right in between the flames, because this roll is going to go amazing. So, all
right, finesse and athletics, and remember, if you're not feeling great about the roll and you're willing to just take the 3 wounds, you can always choose to fail and also gain a hero point.
I understand that is and I'm not trying to throw shade. I understand that that's how Arnau plays the game, but Demetrius Penn does not intentionally fail anything. I always do everything with perfection.
Okay. Nikoletta,
Okay.
you look up and there's fire coming at you.
This is going to sound stupid, but it's fine. She's going to turn the bowl up a little ways and just kind of do like this and take it.
Interesting. Okay, so you're just trying to put something between you and the fire.
Not exactly. More like she's aiming for the brew to be cooked.
I love it. Let's go wits and scholarship.
I adore it.
You're doing the math in your head as it's coming up on you, and it's that scene from Doctor Who.
She's like, oh, perfect.
Mm-hmm. And Verity. Oh no, you don't have to because you're up on the thing. So how many successes did we have? Alastriona? 2. All right, you are going to take 2 wounds. 4, you take no wounds. 2, you take 2 wounds. 3, you take 1 wound. And we
wait, no. No, I lied.
right.
One less, just 2.
All right, so you take 2 wounds. And Edmund is just going to try to jump over the flame. He's trying to stay engaged. And Edmund only takes the 1 wound. All right.
God damn it.
He's hard to kill. Bummer.
All right. Back up to the top of the round. This is the round of 2s. Alastriona?
Well, I'm stabbed into him right now.
You are.
Can I just sort of shimmy the swords down through him?
Sure.
As I make my way down to the
more
floor.
using your strength than just going straight down. So this is going to be your brawn and weaponry, which brings your flair back, because I don't think you've done that roll yet. But remember, fear is still in effect. Arnau is still examining the walls, now from a much closer mount. Demetrius, another slash. Oh, wait, hang on. You don't... I should not have made you roll there, Alastriona. You do the damage you do. You're going to do your weaponry worth. Sorry. I forgot. We're still in that round of combat. We re-roll at the... You will have that option for that the next time it's time for everyone to do rolls. This is just actions, and attacks are just going to do straight-up damage. Demetrius gets his other slash in, unless you're changing up your strat.
No, after he did the flip and the plane, he was like, Edmund! And then he sees that Edmund's fine. He's like, oh, you're great. All right.
Oh, no, Edmund! Oh, you're fine.
Oh, you're fine.
Oh.
Verity is still climbing. Nikoletta is still doing the thing. Edmund takes another slash, does pretty decent damage.
Of course he does.
He is now going to make a grab at Alastriona. So, Alastriona, you have finesse, athletics, difficulty 2, with a risk of 3 minor wounds.
There's 3.
3. Okay. You take 2 minor wounds, but you do not get grappled. As you manage to evade the grasp. Round of 1s. Alastriona does her damage. Demetrius does his. This thing is starting to look a bit beat up. As we're getting to the end of the round, results. Nikoletta, you have never made a concoction so quickly in your life. You have your concoction ready to go. Verity, you have climbed the creature and you are now up around its shoulders. It was actually oddly easy, probably because with 3 sets of arms, it was oddly like a ladder. And it did keep you out of the burst of its one blast. Arnau, you have now gotten a very up-close look at these gems. You're not excited about hitting any of them with your sword. They do not feel... they do not feel weak. You can try, but nothing in this that you are looking at screams at you, I am a weak point.
So no weak point. Okay.
Everything about this chamber speaks of this is a chamber deep underground that has been here for centuries. And whereas some of the labyrinth was looking worse for wear, this thing looks almost pristine. This is clearly ancient make. And that speaks to some pretty good construction. End of the round, I'm going to spend another one of my villain points. The creature gives a roar, and the roar reverberates in the chamber. It is temporarily raising its fear level to 3. So all dice pools are going to be reduced by 3 going into this next round of combat. And as the ringing in your ears goes away, you all hear a moan. And you see another undead shambler. It's not in the chamber yet, but it's approaching from the west. And you figure by the end of this round, it will be in the chamber. All right. Approaches. Alastriona, you are on it. If you want to switch to a brawn approach as you are just dragging your blades through this thing's flesh, you can do that.
Yeah, she's just going to kind of keep slashing at it because this thing has to go down eventually. And I'm right there. There's no reason to.
All right. So finesse weaponry, keeping it in your wheelhouse. Arnau?
Not super confident about the gems, but also turning around, not super confident about the giant monster standing behind me either. So really, just not confident all around. And running away would be a bad thing. I'm pretty sure if Asgeir saw me running, he will just murder me. So I can't do that. Because if Asgeir finds out, I will have nowhere to hide. So looking at the shambler that's moving in, and looking at the big shambler, I'm instead going to go for the little shambler and rip it apart. So that way, because I'm not currently engaged.
All right. You were going to the shambler in order to make sure you get to it because it's not at the door you're nearest to. Go ahead and make that your finesse and athletics. And this will be a risk on your part to get to it because it's just it's basically a single member brute squad. If you get there, you're going to be able to do it. This is kind of what you take as you are avoiding all of the combat as you are booking it across the chamber. Demetrius.
Yeah, so gotta strategize, and so Game Master wants to be rude with -3. All right, so because Verity
it helps. I'm going through my hero points quickly. You have my villain points quickly.
Delightful. Caesar, Verity, and Alastriona are like on the thing. I want to give them some extra foothold, and so I'm going to take out my blades and start throwing it at
throwing daggers
so they can kind of use it as step stools and grapples because I need a new pull so I can get flair, which is going to get minused. So.
All right, finesse and aim.
Yeah, righty.
As you're using your daggers, Verity, you are now up on top of it. What are you doing?
Okay. She's gonna get up there. She won't have very much time. Well, actually, she does have perfect balance.
That's right, you do.
But but she still doesn't have much time. She doesn't know if it's gonna start shooting fire in other directions. So she's gonna try and just plunge her blade into what she thinks is the best spot to try and start basically slicing the head from its shoulders.
All right. This is going to be brawn.
Being tactful. She's just.
This is brawn and weaponry. This is just hit it as hard as you can with your very sharp stick. And Nikoletta, how about you?
Okay, so this thing is in the center of the room, right?
Yeah, it is more or less in the center of the room.
Okay. She's going to dig her hand into that nasty steaming pile of that she just made.
Mm-hmm.
Run till she's about, I don't know, maybe 5 or so feet away from it, like far enough that she's out of arm's reach, but not so far that she has to do this in a huge ass circle. And she's going to drop her hand to the ground and drag that stuff in a circle all around it.
Remind me what this is, what you're doing?
This is spectral prison.
This is to keep it from escaping. All right.
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and say, just while you were doing this, because a lot is happening right now, I'm going to give you a finesse and athletics. Just the 2 risks of wounds, but this is you're doing multiple things at once, and there is a fight going on around you. So this is just avoiding the little dings of combat.
And it's -3, right?
-3 to all pools.
May I give a hero point to
You hero points may absolutely still be spent.
Yeah,
Awesome,
I have
that
a
gives me
feeling
points
that
then.
finesse and athletics aren't your strong suit.
Hey, I'm not bad at
Sounds like a
finesse.
hero point moment.
I'm not bad at finesse. It's just with the -3 that would have given me nothing. So thank you for the hero point because I now have 3 dice to roll. That is really
For the
good.
record, if this would take you to no die, have at least 1 die, because you are not completely incapacitated by the roll. But
Cool beans. Nothing.
you are not going to complete the circle this round, then.
I got a 6 and 2 ones.
No.
I'm working on it. I'll get the head off. It'll be fine.
Okay.
Gross.
But
it's
real
fine.
quick, I forgot. There is one thing I forgot, Demetrius. This might change up your roll. As you are facing this thing and all the stuff is going on, you're seeing what's happening. Suddenly, you hear Sarah's voice in your head.
Oh, god damn it.
Demetrius, your sword. Bleed on your sword. All right. How many minor wounds are you willing to take in this act of self-sacrifice?
Like this is of course I have to bleed. I'm pretty sure if I just wait for this fucking thing, I'll do plenty of that. Fucking A. And I cut and I'll take 3.
All right.
Give
You
myself
take
good
3 and the sword starts, and your Draconizing sword starts to glow. And as you hold it up and look at the glow, lightning, the same stuff that hit and created the Hexen Titan, hits your sword. Your weaponry pool, for the purposes of this fight, while this is active, has gone up 2.
Oh. Yeah. Sorry, I'm not throwing knives.
Sorry, I forgot that was going to happen, and then I asked for your pool, and yeah.
So then I would do the thing I was doing.
Yeah. All right, so finesse and weaponry. Sorry.
-3, but add the 2.
Mhm.
That. All right. So for the sake of purposes, does that mean I have a rank 5 in this?
So you have 5 for the purposes of the dice you roll. Your skill is still your skill. You're not better at using the sword, but it is hitting things harder. Yeah. Sorry about the delay.
And then -3.
-3 because of the.
I don't get flare anymore. Oh, so wait. Because I took 3, I am at a minor wound. So don't I get a bonus die?
Yeah, if you're up to your first major wound, if this got you to your major, if you are now got this bad bleed from where you're doing it, yes, you do add that die from your major, your dramatic wound.
Awesome. I got 2 10s out of this thing. And that's so 1, 2, 3, 4.
4. All right, folks who are directly engaged with this, Chandler, how many raises did you get? You are going to get to it, and you are going to kill it. You are going to take 2 minor wounds in the process of crossing the field, mainly tripping and just like, oh no, we don't need another one of these things. As you run forward, so the undead will be handled. We know Nikoletta is not going to complete the spectral prison this round. You're in the process. You're just not able to do it as quickly as you were hoping for. Alastriona, how many raises for you? 3. And Verity for you? 2. All right. So in the round of 4, this is going to be... Oh, right. Sorry. Hang on.
That was a unnecessary loud amount of dice.
I don't like it when that sound happens. It seems
The good news is that was Edmund rolling.
Oh, okay.
Oh, never mind. I like it.
He did it phenomenal.
The bad news is that the monster has more
Fine.
dice.
Demetrius doesn't like Edmund, but Belcom, yes. Come on.
Demetrius, you and Edmund lead the charge in this round. Both of you going in. He looks over at your sword and has that moment of nerd sniping almost, where he's like, "That's just fascinating." No, and he goes in for the fight. So both of you are going to be able to do your first hit with your weaponry worth of damage, which is 5 for you right now. Yeah, this thing is definitely hurting. And he adds to it. Okay. Blah 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 blah. So those were the 4s. At the end of the round of 4. This creature, again, goes to grab, this time, it was Alastriona last time, this time going to grab Verity again. Verity, finesse and athletics to avoid him. Oh, and Verity also does the damage. You weren't climbing, you were hitting this time. Is that enough to... No, okay. He's not there yet. You're going to need 2 raises to avoid the grab. 2 raises. All right. You avoid the grab, just barely. But you do take the 3 minor wounds.
Well, I got my sword like deep in his neck. I got it's not coming out easy. I'm just gonna hold on.
Phrasing.
All right. So top of this round, we get the 4s and the 3. So I believe that adds Alastriona.
Pants.
Yeah. And you are each going to do your wounds worth of damage. Okay. Oh, we are 1 wound short of bringing this guy down.
No.
He's going to get 1 more attack. Which fun ones have I not used yet?
I don't
Is
like
there one that heals him to keep this fight going on longer? I think you should use
No. Hexen work does not heal. That is the main advantage. They are horrific, but they do not repair themselves.
Could have a regen something.
That's not entirely true. There's at least 2 things that help.
Okay, you've convinced me. But not on this guy. I'll keep that in mind for future undead monstrosities I throw at you, but I'm not going to switch this guy up at the moment.
Are you helping? Like, are we breaking the 4th wall now? Like,
Nikoletta just hates to see Hexen work poorly done. Like, I don't know who's running this thing, but we got.
I am Solus, the Dragon Age Inquisition. No magic is evil. How you use it is.
All right, so it is going to. It doesn't have just the base thing. So, yeah, it's going to use its... Well, no, all of you are on it again. He's going to go for another grasp. This one is actually going to sweep. He's getting really irritated with Demetrius, and so is going to take a swing and try to grab Demetrius. So that is finesse athletics difficulty 2. So you need 2 raises just for the base success.
And -3.
And -3. But this is your first time finesse athletics, I believe. So
it is not.
Oh, actually, yeah.
Because remember I tried to do the cool backflip?
Oh, yeah. Oh, and all of you have done it with like the dodging and stuff. So yeah.
We got 2 dice.
Okay. You need 2 raises on 2 dice.
Go on.
Nicoletta's giving you a hero point.
Hero point?
Yeah.
Can I give him one too?
Nah, he can only get the 1, unfortunately.
Thank you, God. And I still rolled a 1. But I did, but 2 raises.
You do get 2 raises. 3 minor wounds as its arm sweeps at you. But you managed to avoid... Man, it didn't get to grab any of you. I didn't get to use the bite attack because it wasn't holding any of you in its hands. We're not going to bother with approaches on the next round because you have more than enough damage ready to do at it. I'm going to say it all kind of comes through at a time. Demetrius's sword has been well empowered, and he manages to get up in and get a stab. Right around the same time, Verity manages to cut off a head, and Oh, and Arnau at the end of the round, you do just as the Shambler is about to enter and add a second Titan to the fight. You get in and sweep with one of your axes and take its head clean off, and it goes down, preventing another transformation. And Alastriona, you do the swashbuckling slide down the sails with a knife thing, only you're doing it on on a major Titan, and the thing crashes and then crackles, and energy is just flowing all around it. Energy that particularly Demetrius is striking at your sword. There's this odd reverb, and it's getting very loud in this chamber as the magic between the two of them. Your sword is actually hard to hold on to at the moment.
By the power of grace. Okay.
What are you doing?
I'm like, Nikki? Out.
I
Leave the table.
I don't know what that is happening.
I run out
Get
the
it away.
You run it out of the chamber?
Yeah.
All right. The moment you get past the bounds of the chamber, you see the next Shambler that was coming up and are able to easily take off its head. And then the moment you're out, the glow goes away. And the chamber has all of this potent energy that feels in it. Like everything feels very electrical, very staticky. And then it fades. And Nikoletta, you watch as your orb, which was beginning to melt through the tile it was on, suddenly seems to cool, or at least stops glowing.
I will handle that in a moment. She takes the mortar of black nasty and walks to each door. I draw a circle that touches from one side of the doorway to the next, and I do the same on the opposite door.
Okay. Essentially sealing off the chamber from any undead.
For right now, yeah, until that line gets broken. And just like as she's drawing it, if any of you drag your foot through this, I take it off.
Well, now it
Edmonds
air.
stands up and is looking at all this and goes, you all are certainly capable fighters. Very capable. Does anyone have any idea what that was and how that happened?
How much do you know about Ison? And she's still kneeling on the floor drawing this last circle.
My studies have mostly been elsewhere, but clearly I've heard of the Hexen work in the ghouls, and I've read the reports of soldiers who fought in the 30 Years' War, and the dead started rising.
You've heard of the Hexenwachsen? Would you do me a favor and grab my book and bring it here? And she's dusting off her hands.
Of course, and he walks over and picks it up and brings it over to you. And he's kind of glancing at it. I don't recognize the formulas.
No, but not many people not many people who don't know Hexa do. And she just closes the book.
You are a Hexa.
One cannot cure a disease without first studying it, and this has plagued my homeland all my life.
He's thinking about this, and you can see the thoughts in his head, because Hexen workers are the boogeymen of the modern age. And as he processes, that makes sense. Whatever you did to the weapons harmed these things, and you're able to create barriers.
Spectral prison.
Spectral prison. Interesting. I can't claim to understand it just by glancing, but you are a rare talent.
That is one word for it, I suppose.
In any case, and he would look to the rest of you. It is clear whoever was smuggling those monsters into the labyrinth, was this their goal? To what purpose?
Well, something that big could do a lot of damage. And it would be fairly unstoppable for a mere peasant, especially cut off guard. It would destroy so much very easily.
Even
Distract, per se.
even a skilled fighter caught off guard could be killed by one of those things. Easily.
If the Moschitari were sent down here to fight it without the knowledge you all shared, a large number of us might have been wiped out, not knowing that our pistols were not going to be effective. I'll have to spread the word on what exactly we're fighting and make sure the labyrinths are cleared. In the
They
meantime...
will believe you?
What?
They will believe you?
He smiles. The tales you hear of the Musketeers, we trust each other. We hold each other's lives in our hands. If one of us says a thing is true, unless given extraordinary reason to disbelieve. What's worse, Lady Antoinette was going to be coming down here. She's one of the Emperor's daughters, and she might have been caught in all of this.
Most assuredly. His daughters, they were very strong perfume.
More than likely, it could have been. In fact, it's almost certainly that it was a planned assassination attempt.
Perhaps not. Undead is not exactly a shot in the dark or a scalpel. It's when you want to kill everything. You want nothing. No life. Not just a singular life.
Wiping out all of Charus. But if one of the first to die was a princess, that would ensure that the Emperor attacked with his usual patience, and the best fighters would have been lost in the first wave before they knew what they were fighting. This is an intricate plan. I hate politics. Is there anything else you all need down here? You all came down with purpose.
Just to help you, perhaps. Would there be a limited number of people who would have known the princess was to come down here?
Outside of the musketeers, the nobles who are arranging the whole party, we try not to make a loud proclamation when a member of the royal family is going to be in a not entirely defensible place. And the
You may want to investigate that list of people. Someone might be helping things along.
I need Henri for this. I've got no talent for the politics of the court, and it would be one of them. If you all have done well, let's head up to Henri can help figure out what the next steps might be. Unless there's anything else you all need to do down here.
About to say, not to interrupt the conversation, but while all that talking is going down, Nikoletta's going to the next page in her journal and sketching down the entirety of the star chart room that we're in.
Yeah. Easily done.
Now can I break a piece of the crystal off of the wall?
You can try. Give me a finesse and weaponry as you swing at one of the crystals.
I'm good at that.
Now, do you really think it is the most wise decision you could possibly make to disrupt these star charts?
Well, considering the fact that it created a giant Hexen Titan, and one of our big concerns is the fact of more giant Hexen Titans showing up with the undead here, yes, I do.
That would be the point of the barriers at the doors.
I'm not saying I don't trust your skill, Nikoletta. What I'm saying is that if there's somebody who planned this out, more than likely they're going to be able to figure out how to disarm your little goop magic.
Edmund looking around is like, this was built in the war with the Fae. All right, how many raises?
Okay, so that is I'm going to reroll this one. Okay. So that is. I'm going to take a picture of this. This is working. This whole dice tray thing is really working. John was right. So that's 5 raises.
5 raises. All right. Because 5 raises, you are good with your axes, and you know when you hit something you're not expecting how to absorb the blow and not let it like shake your hatchets out of your hand or anything like that. Which is why when the energy pushback that comes from you striking one of these crystals with a steel axe hits, you don't take wounds. But the axe does go skittering along the floor about 20 feet behind you from a major energy surge that repels it. And Edmund raises hands like, these were built at least by Old Empire, possibly the Sirna, and they were meant for fighting the Fae. If you all are correct in that they were holding Fae captive in these chambers, no offense, Grande Cecero, but they would be more than capable of hitting these walls harder than you could with an axe.
Now Arnau doesn't like him.
Edmund, darling, I understand what you're saying. And I understand that you are not incorrect. However, I am attempting to prevent. Right now, the only defense we have against more giant undead showing up is a thin layer of mud on the ground.
It's not mud.
The protection you have is now that we know what we're doing, we can clear out these labyrinths and make sure no further. There are not a lot of undead in Montaigne. If we can go to the source, figure out who brought them in the first place.
Not yet.
Then we need to get
not
to
a
this.
lot of undead in Anisen either.
Oh, I promise you there is quite a lot.
There is
I don't
actually
know very
quite
well,
a
but there was
bit.
a lot.
There's a lot.
There's a lot now.
There were none, and then there were a lot.
Hey, Nikoletta, why would
It only takes one.
why would blood increase the weapon? Is blood mixed with your concoction you put on our weaponry? Is that a way for your...
Oh, that I have no idea. That is blood is I think it's called Portal. No, Portugal. No. What is the word?
Porte?
Yes, that.
The Montagnian sorcerers, the portiers, the blood witches. They
Yes.
use the blood to power their magic, but I've never heard of it used on a weapon like this before. They open holes in the universe and travel through them.
Yeah, that is not my school.
We will.
improve my chances in the battle.
That was also amazing. Is that? And he walks up. That sword, it is not steel. Now that I'm looking closer, you have a magnificent and ancient weapon.
It is a gift. It was a gift.
May I ask from who?
A very self-assured gentleman.
It was hold on, I can't count. What was her name? Amelia. It was the Countess. What was that? Amelia? I think.
And she just gave you a gift of a hexenwork blade. Not hexenwork, of a Draconizing blade.
I am Demetrius Penn. What would you give me instead? A coat? He has no idea. He has no idea. He has absolutely no idea.
Anyway, okay, I'm back. Sorry, that was hilarious.
Mouse, I love you, but that was fine.
And suddenly Demetrius is getting stabbed a lot before they can get
There's
out.
always subplot. going on in these sessions where we're not even trying to hide the subplot.
Well, we will get our people down here in force with the information you all have shared, not using firearms, hacking off limbs. We should be able to clear at least most of them out and then make sure the Star Chamber itself is heavily guarded. But now, in order to really solve this problem, we need to cut off the head of the snake. At least the local head of the snake. And Henri will be better with that. So let me... and he goes over and picks up Arnau's axe and brings it over and hands it back to him. It was certainly a good thought. It wasn't unworth trying. But now let's head back. And so the group goes back to the little headquarters.
I collect my orb.
Yep. And absolutely cool to the touch when you pick it up, even though it had been... But yeah, the tile, which has felt almost as indestructible as everything else, is partially melted through from the heat this thing was generating.
Curiouser and curiouser.
When you get to the Musketeer kind of headquarters thing, not headquarters, but the where they have been entering the labyrinth, Henri greets you all and goes, from what I see, it appears your adventure was a little more adventurous than we were initially hoping for.
About as adventurous as any stop we've made, honestly.
Edmund brings him up to speed, and Henri sits back and goes, it was a group of nobles who was proposing it over Musketeer objections, mine most vehemently. And Edmund laughs at him and goes, Antoinette, she wants to do the exciting thing. She doesn't want to be bored in her father's castle all the time. And Henri kind of nods and says it makes it more difficult for her. But every noble who had some part in this planning, well, they're all in the capital at the moment. In fact, there's going to be a masquerade ball at the palace tonight. Does Verity perk up?
L'Imperial Masquerade Ball? The
Yes.
final ball? The ball of the year? It's tonight? Really? Where does the time go?
Well, as musketeers, we could certainly get you all in, if you wanted to.
Okay.
If you wanted to infiltrate the palace and look around, someone, particularly if they do not yet know that their plan has been thwarted, and it seems like the plan was let undead into the labyrinth and wait for the situation to occur. At least, I mean, Antoinette wasn't supposed to go down for another week.
But it's not just... Wherever they're getting their undead from, it's not here in Montaigne, because there were several different collections of peasantry, pageantry.
That's right. Edmund speaks up. There's at least one Eisener.
Mm-hmm.
And a couple of the others might have been soldiers from the 30 Years' War. And it's kind of looking around. They're importing undead, which means they don't have the means of making them here.
Or at least they don't have the means except by the natural ones. With the undead reproducing on their own. I think that's you said that, right, Nikoletta, that they can do that?
Yeah, they can. This is part of the reason why you had to drink the bland soup.
Which would indicate that they don't actually have a hexen worker. They're just grabbing undead and bringing them. Otherwise, why risk transporting them and being discovered?
Well, they could have easily done what was done on our ship. Just send a boat along and wait until it infects itself. It's less work that way. It's more efficient.
Worrying. Very well. Henri stands up. I will see to making sure that all of you have an invitation to the Palace for the Masquerade through the Musketeers, so no one will question it when we get you in. Do you all have access to appropriate attire for the evening?
We will see what is at my aunt's house. She certainly will have something appropriate for all of them.
Henri grins and is like, Madame Victoire-Couteau, I do not doubt that for a moment.
How many people
I am
really
a
have reputation?
I am a Grand Lord. Of course I have fine attire.
Well, you might not have brought it with you, is what I was implying. You look like you all travel light.
Our boat just went to Avalon.
At least you have a boat. That would allow you to at least bring some wardrobe along. Mr. Penn, we do have access to military uniforms if you would like.
I would never disgrace the musketeer uniform with wearing a
Not musketeer, but military.
You look decorated.
If you do not wish it, it is merely everyone will be masked. And
We
so
could put you in a dress, they'd never mistake you.
I'm certain I would look fabulous, but I will prefer the uniform.
Alastriona only is slightly offended. Like, I'm also a soldier. Fuck you.
My woman's woman would be most dashing in a trouser set if you have more military attire.
Suspenders.
That's my girl.
Oh,
certainly. There are quite a few female officers in the military, and so we could get you access to that if you wished.
we should all make sure that we will not be mistaken for our true identity.
Well, it is a masquerade. The heralds won't even be making announcements as people enter. Theoretically, anyone could be anyone. But pride does mean that the ones you are looking for will probably be the ones wearing the gold masks.
I thought masquerade balls were all about pretending to hide your identity while also secretly showing off exactly who you were the whole time.
The effect for you all who don't know many of these people intimately enough to pick that out will be functionally the same. That is the game the royal family plays with each other. And no one will mistake l'Empereur. He would never permit it. But
oh, the Emperor's going to be there?
At his own masquerade, yes.
Marie, it's his masquerade ball. It is every spring. You cannot miss it. How could you have never attended, Arnau?
Because I have better taste than Montanians?
This is the only party that I cannot forgive you for missing. It is fabulous.
Well, then I'm not going to be missing it this time, now will I?
Well, based on what we are about to do, we are going to be the stars of the show if this goes just perfectly.
No,
So I guess Nikoletta would say that is not what we want, but I think that it is just perfect.
Well, we can always be the center of attention.
So much dancing. And
Well-
finding the people responsible.
Well, I mean, realistically speaking, if a lot of you can draw enough attention for me and one other to slip through and try to find evidence in the rooms, then that is a plan.
Oh yes, perhaps Edmund would like to assist you.
What?
Demetrius cuts the coldest. The code, like,
Betrayal.
thought we had a deal, and she's just gonna be like,
Did we?
I thought you didn't like coats. Edmund at that turns red. As you can see, I am providing. And this is cosplay, dedication to cosplay, everyone. And he kind of glances a little shyly over at Nikoletta and says, Madame von Richter, would you accompany me to the masquerade ball?
Yeah, most certainly. That sounds like it's a wonderful idea.
We can enter with everyone else, but people won't be surprised when we divert off to the side either.
What
So
are
long
you
as your party are drawing enough eyes. Henri, who do they focus on though? And Henri's like, well, the gold masks. You'll need to find evidence. If a couple of you can make a point of seeking out some of the larger personalities at the ball, get them talking, maybe talk about the labyrinth, see if you can get them to slip into revealing anything. Then you might be able to give the information to Nikoletta and Edmund when they go behind the scenes and looking for proof. And I need to stress this. And I stress this because you all act quite a bit like musketeers. And so this is advice I would give to other musketeers. If a fight breaks out that is not a formal duel, and even a duel that is not sanctioned, the guards will be on all of you. L'Empereur has very little patience for disruption of his parties. So this must not come to blades unless you are being attacked. Do not be the first to draw steel. Or all of this will be for nothing and they will get off scot-free. Most of you are foreigners, and the word of two musketeers and a member of the gentry is not going to go against any of the people who wear gold masks.
Understood?
Oh, Verity, is your Marquis going to be there?
I would not know. I don't keep up with his movements or his social calendar. I don't even know if he is a social person. I just know that my father would love it if our children someday inherit a title.
Edmund and Henri kind of glance at each other and go, okay, we will go and arrange the invitations. Your carriage remains outside. No offense, Henri picks up, no offense to your aunt, Miss Victoire-Couteau, but I will have a royal carriage sent to you. That will see to it that you all are not bothered in the courtyard and can get in and have most of the night available.
No offense taken. My aunt's not here.
Okay. And they head out, and you all are able to go wherever it is you want to go to get prettied up for the ball. So, like I said, they are making arrangements. So if anyone wants access to Montanian military uniforms or Montanian naval uniforms, those are available. Otherwise, there are shops. There are forever and always boutiques available if you just want to buy your own look. Verity will have access to family money here, so I'm going to say she's going to be able to spend a little money if she wants. You have your own deck if you want to. Other people are looking to borrow, but so it's about what's your approach? What are you looking to look like as you show up?
So I will for anybody who asks, issues out a low interest loan to any of the rest of the members of the party who need money for their clothes. And Arnau is going to buy a new look. He's spending a crap ton of money.
Also, it is a masquerade ball. So, what is the style of mask each of you would like to wear?
Just throwing things out.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Demetrius. How are you going to get decked out?
Because he's he'll try on the soldier. I guess he'll do the soldier uniform. Because the loan idea doesn't really appeal to him.
Infantry or Navy? Army or Navy?
Infantry, Army.
Army. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
No regalia.
That would have been more like what he was.
Yeah, this is not stolen valor, and this is common in Montaigne. Plenty of nobles will wear a military uniform, and so long as they don't show military insignia, they are not technically in violation of the laws. It's a typical tough guy move.
Yeah, no, I gotcha. And I imagine a Vodachian soldier uniform wouldn't really.
They actually are available, particularly because Vodachi as a nation doesn't exist. It's a bunch of city-states. As a condottieri, there aren't many people who have more right to it than you do. And so if you wanted to wear... And Vodachi is currently probably Montaigne's best ally. So if you wanted to appear as a Vodachian officer, that is available because there are a number of Vodachians in Charus.
No, I would go with that. It's easier. It's always better to do a con with a little bit of truth.
Yeah.
So I'll go with that.
Okay. Merchant fleet or Merchant Prince fleet or Merchant Prince army?
So it would probably been Merchant Prince army what he would have had a history in doing.
They have, because the colors of each city are different. Where did I put? There it is. Sorry, I ADHD placed the core book. You have access. Luciani, Felici, and Mondavi are available. Not Villanova, unfortunately.
Okay. Would he have had any experience with any?
You fought Lucani a lot, and Felici are known as bloodthirsty bastards, and that is by the people you worked for.
Yeah, let's go with that.
All right, so Felici. All right. Alastriona.
So, actually, she won't take up the offer for the regalia. That was more of just a, at least offer me. I'm also a soldier. Goddamn. Let me say no. She's actually going to talk with Verity and see if she would help her dress up like a lady.
Oh, are we bringing Aiden?
Oh my goodness. I have had an outfit picked out for you for about 6 months. I dream of you wearing it and us just bashing about. What do you feel about the shade of peach?
I don't know if that would go well with my hair.
It's accented with greens and browns. The peach is more of the soft tone. Oh, please put it on.
For you, yeah, I'll try it on.
Truth be told, you're gonna hate it.
Above table, Alastriona hates everything about this.
It's just in my head. It's like there's like oranges on the bodice, and then it's just like, and it does clash with her hair, and no, it's actually just god awful.
She's like standing there, very like arms out, like that very uncomfortable, like what do I do with myself pose. Going,
Verity, your aunt's serving girls are all standing around her, looking at her, like trying to stay out of your field of view.
No, she's seeing it now.
Yeah, and they're all like,
it was cute on the hanger.
Can we try something else?
You know what? You're right. Do you like forest green?
Yes.
Wonderful. There is an emerald necklace that I think you should wear with this dress because honestly, I wish I could pull off emeralds, but I cannot. But you, oh my goodness.
One of the serving girls leads in, the whalebone corset, madame?
Oh, no, she would hate that. No.
Well, no, that's fine. I can wear that. That's fine. I'm trying to go for very opposite what I normally do.
They are your lungs. Yes, the whalebone.
Okay.
She doesn't really know. She's not really worn corset. She's like, that's fine. Well,
I just love this. She's just be like, you wear torture devices all day.
So yeah, they go and strap you into a whalebone corset, and they are not gentle about it. Like they are, get it done, get it in. Like,
like she's not too jostled. She's just more like impressed. Like, geez, you got some strength on her.
Nikoletta.
Nikoletta, before getting done up for the party, runs back to the tavern to check on the package that she left tucked away in her room. I messaged you about it.
You did, and now I'm forgetting. I remember that you sent it. Is it in your?
It should be in our DMs, but either way, she went back to the room right before we went for the catacombs and plucked several petals off of the rose.
Right.
A few she left to get caught in the sunlight to see if they would still be there when she got back, and a few more she left in the shadow away from the rest of the rose itself.
Okay. The ones that got caught in the sun are ash.
Okay. Interesting. Write that down. And then after that, she goes and let me see here. She doesn't have a crap ton of money, but she has enough to get a little done. She gets
as you were working, looking at things, a courier rides up, and a package is dropped with your name on it.
What in the world is this? Huh. Pick it up.
It bears the insignia of the Musketeers. And as you open it, you see a noble Eisenwoman gown.
Bell's face. I'm sorry. Ooh. This. Huh. Looking for a note. Something.
No.
I didn't think so.
It just had the Musketeer insignia on it.
She's actually kind of excited because it sounds really pretty. And she goes and she gets a Zani mask to match. That's just it's just one of those long carnival nose style masks.
Gotcha.
Got, like,
Alastriona. Yeah, Alastriona, your mask.
She would opt for one that is more in the shape of like an animal. Like a fox.
You were able to get that. Arnau?
Arnau's mask. So first off, he's decking himself in black as usual, and then the mask that Arnau's going to be wearing is actually a. I know of this from, I don't know what the equivalent would be in this world, but I know of it from my studies. A Greek style theater mask, specifically the smile mask, the go-to standard smile
the comedy mask
made of silver. Yes, the comedy mask made of silver.
They have available so for the comedy mask, what they have is a half mask with a comedy smile. So it would only cover half of your face. But to be fair, a lot of people have like almost domino style masquerade masks too. So particularly made of silver. If you ordered something, you have the money in play if you wanted a quick order of a full face style. But with the smile, it's typically with these things, it's the half mask.
Yeah.
Very phantom.
Half mask. Arnau's gonna do something with his costume to try to block off the rest of his face with his cape.
Right.
But
Okay.
yeah, we can do the half mask. I like that look actually.
Okay. Demetrius, your mask.
We'll go with like a dark purple with the kind of a bird. We'll talk about bird-like colors, so feathers and purple, a little bit extravagant. The feathers kind of pillow out, kind of matching with the hat. So a little extravagant, very colorful, with a dark purple hue.
I'm going to say your mask comes. You're at a Vidachi house getting this, and the grandmother of the house who has been competing with Montagnans for 20 years due to this trade, wants to make sure that the Vidachin boy who is going to be at the Grand Ball stands up. So you are getting an excellent piece of work. Actually inlaid with pearl.
Oh. Tip them extra. Super happy.
Yeah. They do not accept payment because the assumption is you're going to bring it back in some sort of repair. She does insist you eat something though because you are entirely too skinny.
Yeah. Of course. I mean, come on. These Montagnans don't know how to cook like we know how to cook, like from Labyrinthine. Come on.
And Verity, your mask. There we go. Fantastic. All right.
Quick change challenge accepted.
All right. So we are coming up. You all gather again at Verity's aunt's home. You all step out and you see each other in really nice duds. Some of you for the first time. Oh, one thing, Arnau. Do you have any Vendel insignia on you at all?
Yes, he has a Vendel League pin right next to his duelist pen on this area.
Yeah.
Brain is not working.
Verity, are you rocking your duelist pin? Nope. Okay. So, a royal carriage, not the royal carriage. You doubt L'Empereur has ever actually looked at this thing, but it is one of the carriages from the royal palace, pulled by two white horses, pulls up in front of the home, and the driver gets out wearing musketeer insignia. He is not himself a musketeer, but he's working for them. He says, "The carriage has arrived. The ball will begin shortly if you all wish to embark." All right, everyone gets up, and he gets in, strikes the horse, and heads down to the castle. And as we approach for the Grand Masquerade Ball, we are going to take a quick break. We'll see you all afterwards. Oh, it is. Hey, editing Dan, cut that bit out. Anyway, here we go. All right, and welcome back. So, you are going into what is known as a social encounter. This is one of the first of these I've thrown at you, and so just a quick reminder how that works. You are going to make one roll for this entire encounter. Every raise that you have for that roll, you will be able to use, so long as you are sticking to the skill set that you had for that raise. There is an advantage that would allow you to switch that midstream if you needed to, if you have it. Will allow you to do a major action that sort of alters the natural trajectory of the evening. And so something like searching an office would maybe be a raise, or getting the noble person that you were dancing with to cough up a bit of information that they might not otherwise have shared in the course of a dance. That might be another raise. When the event is over, your raises are gone, but the raises you have are the only ones you will have. And if at any point combat breaks out, all raises are moot, and basically you all are fighting to get out alive and not get executed by L'Empereur. So, so we know where everyone lies. So what I'm going to need is, what is each of your approach? What are your approaches going to be? How is your character going to be handling themselves in this social event? Let's again start with Alastriona. How's Alastriona? All done up pretty in a dress. How's the soldier handling herself in this?
She is just like, I didn't know that I had tits, essentially. Like, she was like, what is this? A waist and like a figure? What is this? It's very weird.
My posture is amazing suddenly.
Oh, my back is no longer killing me. Whalebone, who knew? So she's very like unsure of herself in this, but she figured that looking very not herself would be a better approach, just to be like inconspicuous and stuff. So she's like, I'm gonna go with this because now I'm committed, essentially. So her approach is to be a little bit very inconspicuous. Like, she's trying to be part of the crowd, not necessarily be a face or anything, but be like, listen in on things, maybe a little bit more stealth for the night.
All right. So present, because close enough that you can listen in on conversations, but not be the initiator of those conversations. All right. For this, I'm going then to give you wits and notice, as you are just kind of going to be picking out your spots where you're going to stand and overhear what you can overhear. So wits and notice. And this will be a new scene, so flair for everything. Arnau.
Arnau may never have been to one of these parties here in Montaigne. Arnau's father set him up with lyceums, with effectively, fantasy cotillion as well. So this is where he's used to being. And he knows, as a young gentleman who's lived his life doing this, that if you can get the nobles and the noble women to start talking, start gossiping, they'll loose a lot of tongues. Their tongues will be a lot looser, and they'll say things that they shouldn't have said. So that's what he's going to be doing pretty much the whole night. He's going to be sort of interjecting himself into conversations, gossiping a little bit, talking about, that cute Eisner woman over there who's sleeping with a musketeer. Where did that happen? That kind of stuff. Getting them to start talking, getting these people to start talking, and then they'll slip up and say something that they shouldn't have said.
All right, that sounds like panache and tempt.
It doesn't it?
Yeah. Demetrius, how about you? What's your approach?
Well, of course, being a spectacle, I don't need to find the ones in gold. They will, of course, find me. So I'm on the dance floor. I'm definitely picking, absolutely going for everyone, and doesn't matter who, and it's all for the excitement of the song and dance. So there's very my approach is flawless for everyone, and I'm not just getting a few dances with the talk of the towns, but also kind of getting more people to dance with me, and then of course when there's all eyes on me, being a little bit more sensuous in the dance moves, being a little bit more. I'm going for Mask of Zorro,
Panache and tempt, sir.
could I make an argument because I'm so good at this? I have a certain finesse to this, to my dancing, and maybe being a little bit more going with making my style more, like maybe.
So the reason I say panache is because Demetrius often goes in, I am Demetrius Penn. So the idea is you are just putting out with your physical aspect and trying to get people to come to you.
Mm-hmm.
He is Spanish tangoing it.
I will give you finesse. You are tempting people with body language rather than your words.
Yes.
So,
I'll
okay,
go with that.
finesse and tempt. I will give you that. Verity.
I mean, do you just want to go ahead and know what I'm going to do?
I need to know your approach, like what skill base I'm giving you for, because this is your one roll for the whole night.
Well, she's going to look for someone she knows and then use them to start drawing attention so that she herself is not being focused upon. Because of everyone here, Verity is the most likely to be recognized by anyone because of her family and her nationality. And so this is pointless if she draws attention to herself because someone's going to look hard enough.
All right, so
she's going to look for someone to use for her own means.
All right, so you're looking to manipulate someone, the person that you know when you activate your ability. So spend your hero point. You're going to have a person, and that to me right now, I'm feeling that is you using your wits and convince, probably, because you're going to be working through a. You're going to be working through an intermediary.
On who this new NPC you have to make up is.
All right. Yeah, give me a second to get to that. Do you have a preference on what type of character this is? Like, what are you looking for? Because this is Charus. It's not far from where your family lives, so you could know a wide variety of people here.
She would probably be hoping to see someone she knows who has a really scandalous reputation. She's going to be looking for someone who would easily draw attention on their own, and she'll just fan those flames.
Do you want another courtesan from the school, from the Ambrosia school? Do you want that?
No, she wants someone from like hometown vibes, like someone that she probably grew up with, and so it's sort of like she's been someone who was like someone who was kind of a byword. Yeah, so it's like she's like, oh no, her family's got more skeletons in their closet than mine, and that's saying something. So it's like or he
naturally got the piping hot tea.
I'd love. Can it be a boy? Can it be pretty? Can it be something to tempt Arnau?
Sure. And Nikoletta, your approach? Oh, sorry, your role. Yeah, I give you your role. Your wits and convince. And and Nikoletta, your approach.
Nikoletta's going to do the best she can to try to stay on the far corners. She's dressed not all in black like Arnau, but kind of like a cross between black and white, just evenly spread throughout her outfit. She's trying to listen in and wait for when she sees all the attention in the room turned the other way, and then dip into one of the halls.
Yeah, so you and Edmund are going to be doing your infiltration. So so let's for this go probably finesse and either hide or notice.
Same either way.
Yeah. Let's do notice on this one, just because it's about finding the information once you know who you're looking for dirt on.
Is this like a new thing? So with the extra or no?
Yes. This is a new scene. So flare for all of these roles.
Okay.
Ooh.
Am I still injured?
Yes. Any injuries you took, if you have dramatic wounds from the fight against the Hexatitan, those are still active.
Cool. Not that -3 anymore, right?
No. He is dead.
How horrible would it be if I reminded you? How horrible would that How much would everyone hated me right there?
But I will spend a bit.
That guy in school where it's like, they forgot we had homework. Shush.
Were we supposed to have a test?
All right, what is our raise count for everyone? 4 for Arnau, 3, 4.
I have a question.
Yes.
When you have 2 10s, it doesn't do anything extra, right? Or
No,
does
they're just 2 successes on their own.
that's
or
what
2
I
raises
thought.
on
That's
their
what I
own.
thought. Which is like fine because it's still 4.
4. Okay. Keep track of your raises. Get something in front of you so you can easily keep track of what you have, and let me know as you spend them what you have left. So you all arrive. The carriage pulls up in front of the palace, and everywhere you look is Montanian extravagance, because this is a party that is going to be attended by l'Emperor himself. And so anyone who had any way to get an invitation here is here. People probably died over invitations for this, but the Musketeers do have the ability to give invitation to people that they think are important for their own reasons. And so you all have a way in. Verity, it is not always a given that you've been able to be at this party before. And so being able to show up now, in fact, you're pretty sure your eldest sister has never been.
Oh, probably among the many reasons why she does not want to be recognized.
Yeah. And so as you all enter in, everything around is just opulent and people. And there's also this weird undercurrent. Like, not everyone is armed. It's not a problem if you are, because it's kind of running if you're stupid enough to pull steel here, you deserve everything that's coming to you. Like, literally, like, there are musketeers in their dress uniforms everywhere. They are all armed, both with blades and pistols, and just generally keeping an eye on things, keeping everything safe. And as you are moving around, again, beautiful attires, amazing, intricate masks. And as you all are looking around, a number of gold masks. The gold masks, you notice, even those of you who went shopping, they were not available for purchase. Or there might have been some in the shop, but they would then ask, are you going to the masquerade ball? And if the answer was yes, they're like, then we can't sell this to you. Just with this understanding of this is it's a very certain social situation that you're in. It's not a good idea. And so as everyone's spreading out and you just sees people everywhere. Now, as your carriage stops, a couple of masked musketeers approach. And because you've been around them before, and their masks are very simplistic. Just your basic domino masks, essentially. As they step up, you're able to easily recognize Henri and Edmund. Edmund sees Nikoletta get off the carriage, and he just kind of freezes for a moment, and Henri kind of leans in and goes, compliment her on the dress. And Edmund's like, yes, Freund von Richter, you look very lovely this evening.
Oh, thank you. I'm not exactly sure where this came from. It arrived in a box at my door with no note. Strange.
And Henri goes, yes, that is very weird. I wonder how that could have happened. Anyway, we and he's like, well, then let's enter. And Edmund kind of looks around and then kind of awkwardly walks up to Nikoletta and offers his arm.
That's where Nikoletta kind of pauses, and it doesn't matter what her face does because you can't see it. So she's just like takes a half a second and clears her throat, puts her arm in his, and walks on.
All right. Does anyone else do any coupling up with the group? Henri is there if anyone wants to take his arm, or if you're just going to walk in on your own.
Demetrius would sheepishly, like, it would be my honor, and he holds his hand out, even if we separate quite quickly.
To whom?
To Verity.
I suppose it's very common for couples to split up at this event anyways.
You honor me.
Did I see Arnau is taking Henri's arm?
Arnau's taking Henri's arm, and then
All
he's
right.
also gonna offer his other arm out to Alastriona, so that we can do a Wizard of Oz style thing.
We could,
Also,
or we could
very
like,
Montanian.
that's true. Or we can do like a
Love this
theater of
plan.
the mind, like she's.
I love this
here.
picture. Great here.
Oh yeah, you can theater the mind. Yeah, you can hook arms with Asgeir. Asgeir, who's here, we swear, just somehow meant he chose to fail in a social event, and so
And
has
he actually
with it.
is wearing a dress. Weird.
Yeah.
That's how bad the roll went.
He's
Yeah.
pulling it off. It's the peach number that
It is the
Brian, whenever you're looking back to watch this,
It's-
I had nothing to do with it.
His
You know what she
arms,
did?
like
She
really
did nothing to
bulge
stop
out.
it. It's
Are you going to say something to him? Are you?
we got so many episodes before he sees this. It's fine.
So we all you all walk in and you come into the grand hall, and anyone who is not Montanian, this is an incredible hall. Like, it is tall, it is arching, there is art everywhere, there is music playing from 100 different sources. The patronage of the arts is one of Lemperor's great passions, and it is very much on display here. There are paintings being actively crafted by paid artisans in various places. Sometimes they will pick someone out of the crowd in order to pose for it. There's body painting that has happened, and people who are posing in extravagant body paint in various places. Very scandalous, but it is well known that the number one rule of life in Lemperor's castle is never bore him. And so it's clear this sort of party always goes to the nines. And all of this is happening everywhere. And around, you can see multiple people in the golden masks, like I'd mentioned before, other nobles dancing around. Verity, you recognize someone who is clearly dressed in order to be recognized. It is technically a mask, but there is almost no way anyone could mistake who this was. You recognize him as Louis Lachan. And he is from a fairly well-to-do family. And at one point, he was considered a potential match for one of the women in your family. But he has had so many scandalous relationships that your father was just like, no, we're not going that way. Like, there's no way anyone thinks that if he got married, that there would be anything to that marriage. And so, what was that?
Fantasy syphilis.
And he seeing you.
That's a thing.
Wait.
Walk forward.
Demetrius is like, nobody said anything about STD.
I've been secretly rolling for Demetrius every time. I'll let you know if that ever becomes important.
Dodging bullets right now.
And so Louis sees. Well, wait. He doesn't see Verity because she is keeping a low profile. But you see him, and you know he is L'Empereur without the power. Like, if it is fun, if it is scandalous, like, he is all about living in the moment. The rich boy who's never really had responsibilities, and actually, him and Maël get along great. And it's sort of, and the reason that gets tolerated is your father figures next to Louis, Maël looks better to the various nobles, and to Louis' parents, Maël's a good influence, and so they've sort of been allowed to hang out. That and Maël likes basically everyone. So
he's a sweet bean.
yeah, but so he obviously, because you are keeping a low profile, he does not recognize you. But you do immediately clock him, and you know the moment you say, hey, you know what would be fun, he's going to be down. So as you all kind of set your places, Alastriona, you are very not used to this sort of thing. You thought the palace in Carleon was really kind of overdoing it, and why do you need this many rocks piled upon that many other rocks? And so you're walking around, and at first the problem is not, can I listen in? The problem is, what am I listening to? Because everyone is talking, and everyone is posturing. Everyone is masked, and everyone is masking. This is Alastriona's first real exposure to Montagnan politics, where nothing means what they're saying. Everything is subtle, innuendo. It is a hot mess. How is Alastriona trying to blend in?
In her head, she's like, just fucking say what you mean. Like she's listening, and it's driving her insane, because how can anyone understand each other? This is so unnecessary. How do any of you get anything done? So she's
I'm not allowed to punch them. I'm not allowed to punch them. I'm not allowed to punch them.
You're right. I can't smack them. I can't smack them. Fine. So her approach really isn't to say anything at all, but just sort of like stand in circles, acting as though she like she belongs there. Like she doesn't need an introduction. She doesn't need to be basically, I'm going to exude confidence that I'm supposed to be there, so no one thinks they need to question me or anything.
All right. If you will give me one of your raises, I'll give you the first little bit of information you pick up.
Deal.
Okay. You approach a group of women, and you recognize they're not bad people, but they are also condescending. Like, it's not their intention to be cruel. It just happens. And so they all immediately want to take care of you. They're not mocking you. Like, they're not like, look at the girl, but there's like a million different things about your dress that they immediately notice are wrong. And they start going into great detail, and they kind of gather around you. But while they are readjusting your corset, like within 5 minutes, every one of them has touched your boobs as they're like making the little adjustments and stuff like this. And they're moving around. And what about this? Oh, and the mask should be a little bit more like this. There is the gossip and the conversation that is going on amongst all of them. And one of them drops the name Lady Marie Estimont. She is one of the best friends of the Princess Antoinette, and has been talking in very giddy tones lately about a very big surprise that she has planned, and an entertainment that she knows l'Empereur is going to love. That's Lady Marie.
There's gossip about a party she's putting on for someone.
Yeah. And Antoinette was the one the princess who was going to go down into the labyrinth.
Okay, so I'm sorry. Abby was having a hard time catching all of that. So Lady Marie.
Yeah. Marie Estimont. Lady Marie Estimont. She is a friend of Antoinette, one of the higher ranking ladies in the court. The daughter of one of the local dukes, and has been gossiping a lot about the great entertainment that she has planned for l'Empereur and his family coming up. And they're all kind of curious what she might be up to. Arnau.
Yes.
You walk in with Henri, who's very comfortable walking with you on his arm. And he's like, shall we have the first dance together, or do you have other plans?
I have other plans, Henri. I don't dance. It's not my style.
A Castilian who doesn't dance? No, that's just flat out disappointing.
Bunch of lies.
Well, maybe you can teach me.
If we have time at the end of the night. And his hand goes up and flicks your duelist pin. And he goes, every duelist can dance. Enjoy your evening. And he steps off.
Look him up and down for a second. Huh. Anyway.
Oh, look, is there a light bulb?
What's
All right, what's Arnau doing?
So he is going with what his original plan was, which is to go flirt, gossip a ton, basically just going to the groups of people that he sees. Because while generally non-Montanians are not going to be super easy to open up, they love to gossip, and if you wind up getting them talking about somebody else, they'll spill secrets about themselves. So he's going to these individual groups. Whoever, if he sees somebody with a gold mask, he's definitely going to focus on them first and foremost. But if he doesn't see somebody with a gold mask, then he's just going to go where he can to sort of build up that rapport.
The first gold mask that you see coming close to you is on a gentleman, particularly tall, pretty strong build. He is not in military uniform, but it feels like it's a formal outfit that looks like it's very close to military dress. Looks like he knows how to handle. You would assume he would know how to handle himself in a fight, though you do not see a sign of a duelist pin on
him. Doesn't mean anything right now. I bet there's a lot of duelists in this room.
Fair to assume.
Well, he's gonna bring him a glass of wine.
All right.
Bring him a glass of wine, not like servant style, but just Arnau's partying, he's having a good time. He sees somebody who is tall and attractive, and this is Montaigne, so he could just flirt with them.
Okay. All right, so yeah, you grab a glass off one of the servants' trays and you bring it over to him. And you gonna give me one of your raises to getting close with this guy?
Yeah.
All right. He takes it from you and says, "Merci."
Merci. Good evening to you as well. How are you, fine sir?
Oh, well, I'll admit the party is not wishing to offend my host, but last year's was very definitely better. There were acrobats. Maybe they're yet to come out. Those might be high wires I'm seeing up there.
If I had to take a guess, high wires perhaps, but it doesn't look like an acrobat style. Animals perhaps?
Maybe some of those creatures from the land of Golden Fire I've heard so much about.
Those would be quite the entertainment if they were able to acquire them.
Interesting. I don't recall the Vendel League often sending people to these parties, often saying that it's too much pleasure, not enough business.
Well, they often mistake how much business can get done. After all, when you're a wine merchant...
This is definitely a place, though. Am I currently partaking of your vintage?
Is he? Are we?
You have no way of knowing unless you tasted it before you gave it to him. It is a red, and your family does make reds.
But they've also stopped shipment right now. So
yeah. So but then again, but it's wine, so it depends on when this was purchased and when it was laid up.
Yeah.
So
I haven't tried it. I don't tend to make as much. I don't tend to partake very much when I wind up making it myself, aside from testing it to taste test. But I haven't.
By your accent, I would guess you are Castilian, yes? Northern part of the country?
Indeed. Castilian, from the swamps.
Castilian wines, Of course, since the occupation, they were rather cheap here, but since the occupation ended, they've become a bit of a collector's item. The bouquet of this, I would actually guess Vidachin. In the north somewhere, maybe.
Well, perhaps I could have a taste and we could see.
Certainly. And he hands it over.
Arnau's gonna take a taste.
Yep, definitely Vidachin and the sort of stuff your family used to make until your brother took the place over.
He's gonna take a sip, and while there is the mask, there is a little bit of his face that can be seen, and there's a scowl. Poor vintage. Poor class.
Yes. I'm guessing it was probably during that long summer about 10 years ago where they were lucky to sell anything.
It's definitely what it seems. Unfortunately, those Vidachans only think they know what they're doing.
So, outside of selling wine, what do you look for at a party like this?
Well, haven't been to one in quite some time. Usually just good conversation. Good friends. A fun end to the night.
Now that, even with sub-quality wine, I can drink to. Anyone here in particular you have your eye on? I saw you came in with one of the Muscatare.
Not in particular, though. What can I say? If I do continue to flirt with said Muscatari, I think I think that would be a fine catch for a Castilian. But
Well, I mean, they're not exactly in short supply, but
but they let their honor get in the way of having fun too often.
The Musketeer, you are Castilian, you are surrounded by the church. So long as they are not actually on duty, most of the Muscetari, never mind having a little bit of fun if it applies. They have their own social rules after all, and while they wear the title of Musketeer, any of their noble titles are held in abeyance, so none of the consequences of the nobility with all of its benefits.
Fair enough. That's also true. Maybe then I should shoot a little higher.
And then you're talking to someone in the right direction anyway.
Perhaps.
You approached me for a reason. You're flirting, but the flirtation is not entirely your goal. What is the game you're playing? And Arnau, you have heard this before, because you often use these lines on people too. This is one tempter to another. And this is not I have caught you, what is your game? It is, hey, what's your game and is it fun?
Ooh. More tempting back and forth. Because if I just tell them straight up I'm looking for information, that's not fun.
You've met the puck of the evening, it seems.
He's gonna sort of look out over the crowd. You know, it's fun to get people talking, isn't it? So a little bit of chaos.
You want some chaos? And he leans forward and he's looking around. You clearly prefer the stronger sex, but do you have your way with the fairer sex as well?
I have, in most cases. In many cases.
You see that one over there? And he points out a girl in you would almost assume it was a gilded gown with how much gold flaking there is in it. Her over there. She's the daughter of one of the wealthier families in attendance. And your Vendel pin would certainly catch her interest. There is very little that she is denied in life. And so if you could get her to desire you and then reject her, let's just say the evening could get very interesting indeed. Pull that off, and I might have a fun little tidbit for you.
Child's play.
Let me see it. I look forward to seeing how you dance. All right, we're going to shoot over to Demetrius. How is Demetrius Penn doing?
Demetrius Penn, of course, walking in, immediately gonna go to the dance floor. If Verity's coming along, would absolutely attempt to get at least the first dance with Verity, but
does that happen?
Yeah, she would let him lead her to the dance floor and allow them to dance, because she thinks that that's actually the best place for her to look around the ballroom without looking like she's looking around the ballroom.
All right, real quick, just for the fun of it.
No offense to Demetrius, because she's focusing on everybody else. He looks like she's snubbing him as he's twisting her around. She's just not even looking at him.
The first dance, Demetrius, is one you actually know.
Okay.
One of the merchant princes you worked. It's a Vidachin piece. One of the merchant princes you worked for, you think might even have arranged for it to be written, might have paid the musicians who wrote it. And it is a fairly, like, in high school dance parlance, this is a slow dance. This is a coupling up dance.
awesome.
Yes, why did that even occur to me until now? Okay.
And so multiple pairs all over are kind of grabbing each other and dancing. While this is moving around, Verity, you have eyes on Louis. And are either of you willing to spend a raise to make this a good dance? Even though this is not the goal.
Firstly,
Good how?
I am 100%. Doesn't matter. Because even if it's
To
just to
watch
impress.
or good to experience?
I would say, actually, in this point, because you all are heroes, yes. It's both.
It's both. Both.
It's both.
It's both.
It's both. Yeah. It's
All right, fine. Yeah.
100%.
So
Yeah.
she doesn't-
Demetrius is spending a raise.
Not
Is
other-
Verity also spending a raise? Are you matching each other here?
Well, he spent the raise, so she will too. And I guess since you're saying she spots Louis real quick, she'll bring her attention back to Demetrius.
Okay. You two are having a moment because both of you are bringing your A game, and both of you have a pretty good A game. And so there is Demetrius and Verity are now dancing and moving around. And particularly because, Demetrius, this was your whole entice people with your presence, you immediately clock there are eyes on you. Verity looks amazing. And so some of the eyes are jealous, like, why does he get to dance with her? But a lot more is, wow, they're both really dancing well. And so it's not quite the, folks create a circle around you and watch it. No one is going to let the spotlight be that overtly taken from them by creating a spotlight for someone else.
No, we
But eyes are on you, and your eyes are on each other. And because both of you are bringing your A game, it's been long enough since, actually, Demetrius, do you want another hero point?
Yeah. 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 I'm gonna grab one. Yeah.
All right.
He is,
You all are having
he
a
is
moment.
kind of forgetting the mission a little bit. Kind of.
She's wearing pants now. Well, she's wearing a skirt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he knows the legs that are under that skirt.
Still locked in there.
All right.
Oh.
Do you all talk about anything, or is this sort of Is it like a stare down? Like who's going to blink first?
Demetrius would definitely. You okay?
I am fine. Are you okay?
It's more. I am not in any hurry to get back to Vodachi, and you seem like you weren't in much of a hurry to come back home. Are you okay here?
As long as nobody who I would hope to not sees me, it should be fine. I don't want to be chastised by my entire family. They won't care about zombies.
Well, your brother seemed fine enough.
I don't want him to know about the zombies either.
Wow. And does the little spin and all that. If you need me, I will always be there to protect you. Though I don't think you need me to protect you.
It is sometimes nice to have a man handle things if they know how.
Well, you give me too much credit. I almost never know what I'm doing.
I believe you. And she's like, and this has been perfect because honestly, no one would think that I would dance with someone like you. So the cover is.
Ah, you wound me. You told me.
Well, would you ever? Never mind. You would.
You know, I'm almost positive I am not as horrible as you think I am. Actually, or at least in the ways you think I am.
No, I saw you were perfectly lovely with the children that we rescued. You are considered very capable in leadership. I don't deny. I just wish I could believe that you aren't as horrible when it comes to the number of petitions from different fathers of different women that you seem to have made friends with.
We have different past. And I'm come in the world I live. You really did not know. No one had any expectations of me. No one cared. So make yourself an experience.
I suppose I can respect that. I had nothing but expectations put upon me and I didn't want any of them.
Well, you're making a great move of life. I'm enjoying watching.
You may watch all you like, monsieur.
The music comes to a close. And there is the moment, there's some kissing of hands. There's some flat out kissing, some clinks when people who go for a kiss forget about the masks. How do you all finish the dance?
Deep bow and I guess attempt to kiss the hand.
She would do like a very big flourish with her bow while offering her hand, making it seem like they had planned a big finish that seemed so well executed.
Oh yeah.
Like the end of an ice skating couple when they like it's just like and pose.
No, please more. Yes. Thank you.
All right. Real quick, Nikoletta.
Yes.
While this is happening, Edmund does ask you to dance, at least at the beginning, so you're not immediately coming in and then scuttling away. He's a little awkward in his dance. He knows the steps, and he dances like someone who used their weapons training as dance lesson, effectively. He's good with his sword, and so he's at least he's coordinated enough to make it look like he would dance.
Shut up.
Verity, I need you to kill that man.
Crazy.
How is Nikoletta with the dancing, would you think?
She's probably equally as awkward because the dancing was not anything that she ever really took to whenever it came to her education. She was taught dancing, obviously, but it's like but my because. So she she as well knows the actual steps, and so like every third or fourth step, she probably steps on the corner of his toe. She's like, I'm sorry.
It is no worry. I do not do this often either. Though I will say, present company is very pleasant. It's the first time I've actually looked forward to one of these.
Truth be told, this is the first time I've danced with anyone not my father.
Well, then I'd better do as good a job of it as I know how. And kind of does a step, staying on the periphery, not trying to draw eyes, but just to be seen to dance, and goes, you look amazing.
Thank you. I only wish I knew where the dress came from. Whoever did has very good taste.
No, he's absolutely the guy who would give up the game. Based on what I heard, I think that might have been Henri.
Henri, your friend? Why would he send me a dress? This is strange.
He is maybe more involved in my romantic life than I would normally hope for. AKA, I asked you to come with me to this, and he was overjoyed that I was actually going to show up at one of these events.
Oh, so this is she kind of takes a minute where her very clearly several things scroll through her brain at a very rapid pace, and she's just, oh. And again, can't see it, so she's wearing a mask, so my next bit of description would be kind of pointless.
Yeah, you can do it anyway. How she's feeling.
At any point, whenever she takes off her mask, pretty much through the course of the evening, like the entirety of her nose right here around the very end is blushing, and if she ever brushes her hair back from her ears, they're also very bright red, just the very tips. He
moves and he dances, and you can see color. He's fairly dark skinned, but the depth of his dark skin continues to darken as he's moving with you and dancing. And he goes, I'll be honest, when I was made a mousquetaire, I suspected this sort of thing would come to an end for me, that it would all be patrols and research that the Corps of Musketeers needed me to do.
Truth be told, I never expected to have to attend many of these things. That was supposed to be my sister.
I'm sorry.
It was a long time ago at this point.
You were close to her.
As children we were, yes. We grew apart somewhat. Not so much in the way we were together, just pulled apart by duty. She had things to learn. It was her that was to be a baroness. That is another part of the reason why I am staying away from home as long as possible. I was not prepared for this title that everyone thinks is so impressive. I'm not certain. That was never supposed to be mine. I was supposed to be able to stay tucked away, and I can't anymore.
I think I can relate in some ways. Not everyone approved of me becoming a mousquetaire.
Why?
Other paths they wanted me to follow. But for now, it keeps me here doing research, all the books I want. And he looks up and all of a sudden takes back and is like, your friends, they dance well. Gesturing towards Demetrius and Verity.
Yes, I expected those two would make the biggest splash here tonight.
Apologies. They seemed rather involved with each other or ready to kill each other.
It changes day to day.
Oh. Well, as the music starts to draw to a close, he because I imagine this conversation didn't actually happen that fast. It was little bits of, okay, I play a spoon and you have a spoon, like that. And then towards the end, he pauses and gives a low flourished bow, kisses your hand. Whatever else comes of all of this tonight, it has been my very good honor to meet you, Nikoletta von Richter.
It has been a good honor to meet you as well, Edmund.
All right. Let's read some books, huh? Back around to Alastriona. Oh, wait, hang on. Verity didn't really get to pick an action because of the dance with Demetrius. Verity, did you have anything to add before we get into the second round?
Oh, no. As soon as they finish their flourish, though, she'll be heading right for Louis.
Okay.
She's going to let Demetrius keep the attention, so she'll remove herself.
All right. So you go up to Louis, who is talking to a group of people and has very much the air of the predator who is kind of picking out his next target. Not necessarily for seduction, just like he's already bored and he's ready to make this party more interesting.
Since they knew each other since being children, her brother grew up with him, she would approach him from behind and speak softly into his ear and say something more of like an inside joke, just being like, "The peaches are purple." I don't know what it is with me and peaches today. Leave me alone.
Laurys. If I'd known you were going to be here, I might have actually put some thought into my outfit.
I will not judge you to your face this evening, if that is what you prefer.
Only to my back, as usual?
It is always the way.
Very well. What brings you here? I can't imagine your sister knows, or that I would have heard the explosions.
She would, gesture to how she's not even wearing even a lick of her family's colors, and that she is hiding her pen, and that right now her flash of silver is obscured by her darker hair, and she's just like, "I am not here as me this evening, and I would like it if you could maybe help me stay not me for as long as possible. But I might need your help. It could be fun."
Well, you had me at fun. What are we picking on tonight?
She would look around to find where what Arnau's doing.
You see Arnau heading to a girl in a gown that makes her look a little bit like a golden peacock.
Perfect. She would point out the girl that he's heading towards and be like, "Who is she?"
Oh, she's one of the girls of the Lafayette family. A bit of a gold chaser, it must be said. And a bit of a spoiled brat. Takes very little to get her to explode. And despite her protestations of being as atheist as any of the nobles, it is not hard to get her to call upon the prophets, if you know what I mean.
So you have been in that garden?
The path is well worn, but it was fun for an evening.
Was there any attachment on her side for any amount of time?
Oh, she was absolutely in love with me. Wanted no one else ever again.
Excellent, excellent. You're going to rekindle that. And she would point to Arnau, who's en route, and she'd be like, "I'd like you to thwart him."
You want me to thwart him? Who's he?
An acquaintance, a duelist I might have fought once or twice. I just would like you to maybe make a bit of a show of maybe some triangle of sorts. You can bow out when you're bored, but I'd love it if maybe it became a bit of a show. And she'd be saying show, clearly I'm asking you in double talk to create a distraction.
You will visit me if I get imprisoned for this.
I will be there with every bit of sympathy for the outfit that will be worse than this.
Laurys. What we missed out on when our parents decided to break off the engagement.
Well, you never know. Things change. Perhaps
Not you,
I
though.
will. Yeah, that is true.
Besides, anyone with a pair of eyes this evening knows you may not have your hair braided in the way, but you are a taken woman. And he walks off.
Ugh, Montanians.
Alastriona, you have this piece of information. What are you going to do with it?
She has gossip about a party. She's like, I don't give a shit.
All right. So you're going to look to try to pick up on another bit of conversation?
Probably, yeah. She's just like mingling about, just
Okay.
kind of like parties and gossip like that. She's not that interested in. She's trying to find something that alludes to maybe like political like uproar or like schemes happening in the area. Like, is there something troublesome?
Okay. Listening around for that, it's a sort of party where everything is troublesome, but these people have no actual concept of what actual trouble is. These are a lot of first world problems. But you do get in on one conversation. Some people who are having a bit of an argument as they're going back and forth about appropriate use of force. They're talking about, there's still bandits out in the countryside. Shouldn't we really be taking care of that? At what point will l'Empereur stop throwing 10 billion parties in favor of actually ruling the land? Other people push back on that. You get the impression it's a very common argument. And like you saw, there are bandits openly on the roads within 10 miles of the capital. And so as they're going back and forth, and you hear that some of the outlying lords have started talking about possibly turning back to the Vaticine faith. Like if l'Empereur isn't going to handle some of these things, maybe they invite the Vaticine back in, maybe the Inquisition. And how long is this going to go on? Like we have the grandest army on earth. How are there bandits that close? This is all kind of surface level stuff. You want another raise to go in and get something actually directly usable?
Yes, please.
Okay. You step in and you overhear the talking, and it's like, well, who's willing to act on that? Well, the Estamot family is actually putting in a fair amount. They're hiring up a lot of the mercenaries and actually taking them out of the capital and moving them into outlying lands to handle the bandits. There a lot of interest in getting these soldiers away from the capital and the repeated refrain is where they can do some good. Maybe on the Eisen border to keep the undead to the north, maybe in an attempt to reclaim land in Castile, maybe, and all this talk. Couldn't we be doing more than what we're doing now?
They're saying that they're taking mercenaries.
Yeah, they're hiring the mercenary bands in the capital and moving them out of the capital to serve other purposes and other posts.
So it's the mercenaries are the bandits, or the mercenaries are being asked to deal with the bandits?
The bandits are the excuse. You haven't heard him explicitly say that these mercenaries are fighting bandits right now, but it's like, we don't need mercenaries in the capital. We need mercenaries where fighting might happen, like where the bandits are.
Okay. I was confused.
Okay. All right. Arnau, as you are approaching the girl, she looks up at you and goes, "Oh, hello.
Good evening, my friend."
She offers out a hand for you to kiss.
Arnau takes the hand, gives it a quick kiss, and then presents to her, almost as if by magic, a glass of wine.
A what?
A glass of wine.
Oh. So I'm gonna take one of your raises to be now engaged with this girl and have her full attention. As
Okay.
you do so, she smiles and goes, "Well, that was quite lovely."
Well, I thought it would be a gift for someone of your beauty would
And
be
a
appropriate.
charmer as well. It might be a bit gauche when everyone has masks, but could I know a name that I could call you?
Do I give Amor?
Amor. Of course. And she steps in inappropriately close. Particularly like for all your time in for all of your time in Vestin, you are still Castilian, where they believe in leaving room for the Holy Spirit, and she is getting all up in your business.
Wow. This is giving me Verity vibes. This is why Arnau doesn't get close to Verity very often.
Careful,
But-
she doesn't like being called a tart, even if she can't technically hear it.
Arnau's going to like accept the basically her moving in close, and he's gonna basically set up for a dance. I guess I'm not good at that, but
Mhm.
but the focus is on less on the actual dance and the performance of it, and more putting his hands on her.
Yeah, it's immediately there. But as the dance begins, suddenly someone else that you are not familiar with steps up. He's clearly an attractive person. There is not the same amount of care shown in his outfit that some of the others have, but that itself sort of works well. It's the kind of the way he stands out. It's the ballroom equivalent of the tousled hair type of approach, as he sort of steps in and goes, "Well, don't both of you look absolutely lovely this evening? I would hate to cut either of you out, but could I cut in and join the both of you?"
There could be room for a third.
She looks over at him and goes, "Well, now I'm definitely intrigued." And he steps in, and now you are dancing as a threesome. And it has to be said, doing it well. She and he are both good at this, and are now, again, you may not have a lot of actual formal. Actually, no, you have 3 in tempt. You know how to dance. And so
I just have 0 in perform. So
yeah, so your dancing doesn't necessarily look good to the people who are watching, but it works for the folks you are dancing with.
I
So,
see.
as the 3 of you are sort of moving together, there's this weird kind of going back and forth. And as you turn, the guy in the gold mask kind of gives a "dang, he's good" kind of approach to the whole thing. Like, well, if we were looking for drama, that is certainly in the process of happening. It is catching eyes. A couple musicians missed their cues. As all of a sudden, that's a threesome dancing on the floor happens and stuff like that.
Is Arnau getting any sort of inclination that the other 2 know each other?
They definitely know each other. And the tension is weird. She doesn't mind that he joined the dance. She seems a little confused by it, excited, and her eyes are kind of going back and forth between the 2 of you. Are they going to fight over me? Are we all going to go to bed together? Are we good? Yeah, like, there are many possibilities that come from this moment, and she seems to be down for most of them, but also uncertain of where it's going to go.
Ooh, since the tension is there,
Yeah.
Ooh, could Arnau pull some strings and make this go too far for the other guy and force him to pull back and leave her with nothing?
So what you're going for, are you going for dancing away with him from her?
No. Moreover, like, he doesn't necessarily put off his advances from her onto him, but kind of doing that at the same time. Basically, he's making it so that they're together, because with him seeing the tension and with his levels of empathy, he should be able to get some of this. With him sensing the tension between them, if he redirects his focus towards him, he might become uncomfortable and start to pull away, and then Arnau can pull away. And then she'll have that.
Give me a raise.
Yeah, I'll give you a raise.
Okay. With that raise spent, it is happening. You are basically just taking what was already a very volatile concoction and you are stirring the hell out of it. And as you are making your move to pull away, and she starts going, well, like there's a moment where you kind of pull back as if you're going to step out. And she moves around to go to put both of her arms around his neck, going, oh, Louis, are we going to have another return to the... And Louis has a moment of, this is further than he was really looking to go with this. He's won the game that Verity put him up to. He doesn't want to sacrifice his whole night to it. And so he is starting to pull back, and you can see she had both of you, and now she has neither of you. And you can see the lava beginning to work its way up to the top. There is an eruption coming.
Time to disappear into the crowd!
And he also is like, darling, it was fun dancing with you, but without the other, I've had it before. And steps away. We'll come back to where that goes later. Demetrius.
So, seeing if he's caught the eye of anybody in gold.
Yes. There is one lady with a gold mask, looking younger than some of the other ones, who seems to be doing the side look with a little smile before she goes back to whoever she's talking to thing.
I will absolutely kind of, after Verity leaves, and make my dancing way over to her and reach out a hand to kind of pull her into the dance.
She accepts.
And
give me a raise for the engagement.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And Demetrius gonna try to start picking at her. It's like I must say, it's the first time I've gone to one of these events. I'm having a great time.
Are you? Excellent. Vidachin, yes?
Of course.
Are you a condottieri? Mercenary.
It's something I've been called was.
I don't suppose you have you're here for hire, are you? And as she's dancing with you, kind of strokes finger down your chest.
Depends how much to pay. I'm imagining if you're here, you can absolutely afford.
Tell me, how much does your company make here in the capital? It doesn't seem to be a lot of work for you.
I give an exorbitant number.
You must be very good.
It's been
or entirely boastful.
Boastful is when you don't have the skill to back it up. And then I do a really good spin. Spin her around, tuck her in close.
Does it get boring, though? Just getting paid and sitting around waiting for L'Empereur to want to play with his toy soldiers.
Oh, in the short time I've been here, the games are truly fun. Why don't you tell me the job?
You might have noticed in your approach a number of bandits. The threats to Montaigne are everywhere. Castilian independence has only assured that their own bandits are coming to us from over the trade sea. There's always the menace of Eisen to the north and the Sarmatian Commonwealth and their absolute rabble, always looking to kind of spread their wings where they don't belong. They're real threats that needs real men of action. I'd rather have soldiers being soldiers than toys on a game board.
And where would you put your soldiers being soldiers?
Well, if you are as good as I hear you are, particularly with your lineage, you might be able to work your way through Vodacce. Get up north. My thought, a particular hit under, say, the Usuran banner. You don't mind flying a false flag, do you?
My dear, are you assuming because I am Vodacce that I am willing to do such a horrible, conniving thing just so others can get me paid more than I have ever been paid?
Yes, I'm thinking precisely that. That is your entire reputation, is it not? Or is it all just hearsay?
You are speaking like you know who I am. This is quite a beautiful mask.
It is. Can I know your name?
One for another.
Marie Estimot.
Antonio.
Antonio. Of the Villanova family.
To the game master, do I know who this family is?
Yes, the Villanova family. You grew up near them.
Do I?
They are bloodthirsty bastards. You look nothing like Antonio Villanova, but she also might not know that.
Yeah. You are playing, I know the reputation of my family.
Mm-hmm.
Moving me through Vodacce is making a lot of waves. Under the Usher flag, how much can you afford?
Oh, traveling through Vodacce won't be the problem. It'll be hitting Samasha in such a way that they think they're under attack by Usura again.
And who? And I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. What was the name she gave?
Esther. Her name Marie Estimot.
Marie Estimot. I wonder, would the crown be okay with such conniving moves? You wouldn't be getting in trouble with any of our dear hosts.
I am hiring mercenaries, not taking any soldiers away from anyone, and playing a little game and letting the absolute rabble of Samartia kill themselves against the barbarians of Usura. L'Empereur would not even notice.
Demetrius deeply hates this woman.
Soldiers and peasants die, of course, but it buys space for the Empire. And it keeps soldiers playing their games away from our borders so that my other troops can concentrate on other things.
Yes. Other troops on other things. Here's the problem with your gorgeous proposal.
Yes.
After it's all said and done, I am deep in an area with no aid to get back to your humble graces. What guarantees do I have that I'm not just some random soldier that is just as dispensable as you have just said?
Oh, I make no such guarantees, but that's why I pay well.
Pay is good. Coin is amazing. Titles are much better. And what title could you provide?
You want land in Montaigne?
You do have plenty of parties, I hear, in so many fun, unique locations.
There is a girl. She is not present at this party. The daughter of a duke. If I whisper the right name in the right ear, and you be as gallant as I can see you're capable of being, you could be the heir to the Duchy of Bouquet in practically no time at all. And then there you are, with all of your mercenaries, controlling one of the key trade routes, both from Castile and what remains of Isen. A wise man would know how to use that, wouldn't you?
Someone like you does not work alone, and I like to know all the people who are paying me.
She leans forward and goes like she's about to kiss you and leans over and whispers into your ear. One job at a time, love. Complete the first. Consider this foreplay, and then we can get to the second.
All right. I guess where would you like to meet? Who will be my next contact?
You'll need time to prepare your men to travel, I know. I have business here in the city in about a week and a half. After that, I'll meet you, and she gives you a location. She passes you a note, one of the inns here in the capital.
All right. And then I do song over, bow, and then continue on my extravaganza.
All right. Down to Verity. Luis walks over to you. And so far, nothing seems to have exploded, and you're wondering if he has at last failed. And he comes up to you. Laurys, darling. You are muted, if you're talking. You weren't talking? Okay. Couldn't tell with the fan over the mouth.
I would put it down if I was talking. I'm not going to be...
Okay. So, wait for it. 5, 4, 3, 2. And he looks over as the girl explodes. Like just full on crying, ranting, just around this terrible. And you can see several members of her family coming up, trying to calm her down. This is full on Veruca assault going on here in the middle. And it is going on. And he's like, so, was that good? Do I win?
That was perfect. And I always enjoyed being a nuisance to one of my favorite rivals.
Is he a rival? He doesn't seem your type.
He is a duelist, and we are on good terms. It is rare that I can stand any of my own kind.
Precisely the reason I never took up the sword in the same way you did. Anything else you need?
Is there any good gossip? Something big, overarching? Anything that is maybe a little bit more than a whisper?
The labyrinths are becoming big again. Several nobles wanting to put on a special thing for Antoinette, if you believe it. Someone planted a thought in her little head that it would be, an exciting escapade to see some of the deeper levels, and that they would put on a show for her to make sure it was, properly loud. Very gauche.
Well, whose idea would that be? going to the sewers for entertainment?
Well, the only ones who could be able to do financing the way they've actually gotten the musketeers on it, if you believe it, mapping out, blocking off the labyrinth. If I had to put it to a guess, to stick the idea in her herself, who also had money to do it, I'm guessing Marie.
Marie?
Estimate, The two of them have been thick as thieves for a while. Antoinette is a sweet girl. Marie is an absolute snake, but...
And she has enough power now to sway in such a way?
You know her family. They always have money, they always have military, and because she never bores a l'empereur, her ideas are always welcome. He says it's always fun when the poisoning is in someone else's cup.
Yeah. Do me a favor and perhaps do not go to the sewers. I don't care what you hear. I don't care how many elephants. Please do not go. I promise you. And she'd give him that, I'm looking at you in a way that we used to share when one of us was getting the other one out of trouble as kids. It's like, you do not wish to go down there.
Fully understood, and thank you. I'll do my spelunking elsewhere.
But you are free, and I shall always owe you.
Mm-hmm. And so he steps away. Is anyone getting any of the news or information they've had to Nikoletta so that they can actually go and investigate some of this?
Well,
Demetrius would... Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're good.
Demetrius would 100% take any opportunity to cut off the dancing that was happening between Nikoletta and Edmund.
All right, let's play that out. He is... Edmund and Nikoletta are still dancing, waiting for word on where they're going, and Demetrius comes up.
Hey, sorry to interrupt.
Right, yes.
It's fine.
We have a job to do.
Yes, this is a time for work and diligence. Dangers in every corner.
Who are we looking for?
Well, Marie Estamon is definitely the person of interest. She is hiring mercenaries and for some big work in Fodachi, which is where we were looking at those star charts and seeing that a lot of forces were centered in Fodachi. That cannot be a coincidence.
And also gets them away from the city right before their intended invasion from below.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I tried to press her for more, but there's clearly more than just her involved in this cabal.
Very well. Monsieur Penn. Nikoletta, I think I know where her offices are. They're near Antoinette's. Henri can get us close.
Leads the way.
He leads you up, and as you pass, you see Henri is actually right by Princess Antoinette.
Just right before they pull off, Demetrius very quickly grabs Edmund's arm and kind of leans in to kind of whisper into his ear and says, please protect her.
With my life.
Bet. Then
Yep. And as you move up, you notice Henri is actually near Princess Antoinette, and they are very close. Not like a romantic interest, but like really, really close friends. And anyone who's paid much attention will have picked up Henri is actually a member of her personal guard. She is his priority more so than the king. Edmund and Henri talks, and Nicolette, if you can give me one of your raises as you get into Lady Marie's private rooms.
Yes. I had 3 at the start of the night, I believe.
Yeah.
So
the two of you move, and you're looking through everything and like just trying to find, and just both of you using your abilities to rapidly process information. and you find the most complete map of the labyrinth you've seen yet, including what Edmund was working on.
This can I say, just for flavor and fun, because this is too, like, I don't expect to actually get the whole thing copied down, don't get me wrong, but because we were going to be looking for a lot of information, that Nikoletta took like a fairly wide piece of parchment and had kind of like laid it up against her leg, so she goes to pull the skirt up quite a bit, completely unaware of anything except what she's doing, and just yanks the paper out and goes, let's see what we can get copied.
You work on that, I think, and he's going through all these different files, and it's like her mercenary bands that she's been hiring. Look, this one got sent to the Eisen border right around the same time that the regular troops in that area were pulled away. And then it got recalled and others went back. She created, I'll bet you that's when they got the undead.
It's most likely. Oh dear, okay.
But we need proof. We need this the smoking gun.
I'm still copying down the map.
You're able to fill in most of the gaps because you already have a fairly complete map. There's just a few extra bits as he's looking through, and then he's like, "Do you have any raises left?"
I have 2 raises left.
Give me another to find the smoking gun.
Yep.
As you finally finish sketching out the map, you pull it out and you pull out a journal, a diary, and you're going through, and you actually see she is a money person. And having had a chance to see some of Arnau's books, she has a similar level of, she hires a lot of people and moves them around. She's very, very competent. And as she's pulling everything through, and as you're looking through everything, you're like, you can actually see as close to a smoking gun as you're going to get here. The various sheets, receipts, everything coming together. And with you and Edmund putting all of your clues together, you are pretty sure with the testimony of musketeers, you are going to be able to get her arrested for creating a dangerous situation. At the least, you can get her for gross incompetence and endangering a member of the royal family. And that's if no one believes you.
Fantastic. She'll get the map rolled back up again, pull the skirt up, and kind of like get it strapped back to her leg as fast as she can, and then dropping it back. All right. Well, do you think we should wait till tomorrow to face all of this, or?
No, now's the time. I will, while she's in the mid, she doesn't have a personal guard here, and I have as many musketeers as there are in the city. We'll take it over from here. Tell your friends to get a bit of a low profile in case anything big and bad happens, but...
How well do you remember my friends? Okay, I'll try.
So Nikoletta goes in and manages to collect all of you and say it's about to go down. And you see as the musketeers suddenly move and surround Marie. And at first she seems, if anything, flattered by the attention. She's a very good friend of the Emperor's daughter. She's used to being around musketeers. But all of a sudden she realizes she's being arrested. And Henri is leading the charge on this one and talking about the undead that were found. And Edmund then brings in the evidence of what was found. And people are gasping. And from the throne where the Emperor sits, you see him smiling, enjoying this, like he's enjoying a police procedural. It is well known that L'Empereur believes his musketeers are the finest small company of soldiers in the world, and he loves when they are being very good at their jobs. And they are caught up in everything that is happening there, and she is being dragged off. And you all are reasonably certain, like, there's going to be interrogation and there's going to be stuff like that going on from there. But at least the local head of whatever this group is. Oh, and the one thing I did forget, Nikoletta, as you were looking through her journal, you found a black rose.
like flattened and dead?
Yeah, flattened and dried, and the thorns removed.
I
Mhm. And so you're able to yoink, and the evening has come to a close. We'll be able to do the follow-up and figure out what the plan for where you all are heading next will be later. But before we close out this episode, a quick pullback. You all go back to Verity's aunt's place at the end. You have a very successful end of the evening. None of you are under arrest or really in any sort of trouble. And so the night comes to a good conclusion, and you all come home. But meanwhile, Henri and Edmund have worked a very late night. They just announced the arrest of one of the Emperor's inner circle. And so they've had to pull that off. The other musketeers believed them, but after it happened, they said, okay, now convince us. And they put everything out and did. And there's this moment of exhaustion. Henri walks in and kind of gives Edmund a bit of a smirk. And he's like, well, you certainly seem to enjoy yourself with the lovely Miss von Richter. And Edmund just smiles, very small smile, and goes, Nikoletta. And Henri was like, she looked good in the dress. Edmund's like, where did you even get an Eisner dress at that kind of short notice? Henri's like, you would not have had any idea what to pick up. I know people. Antoinette pulled in a favor for me. She looked lovely. You had a good time. You're welcome. You know it can't happen, Edmund says. And Henri looks over at him and goes, why not? She's a Freyan. She's to be a baroness. And he's like, and the moment you give up your commission, you're a marquis. So what's the problem? She's Eisner. Ruling means something to them. You might eventually be a duke. Imagine. Edmund, Duke of Bouquet, reaches out to the Baroness von Richter. I don't know. Maybe. We'll see. And with that, we are going to bring this episode to a close. Thank you so much for playing. Sorry this episode went a little bit longer than we normally like. Thank you so much to Basics of the Game for hosting us. Thank you to Dragon of the Dark Rose for producing us. And as always, remember to play more games. We'll see you all next time.
Have fun.
Yay.
Don't die.
See you guys.